Hey guys, AGFT Death Angel here. This is gonna be my first big, really open discussion about anything. I got a few topics that I wanted to talk to you about. I heard them from a few friends here over at my high school, and they wanted me to talk about just some of the things that are going on with the whole football frenzy all over the nation. I mean, one of the things I was going to talk to you about is the BCS Championship Bowl. I mean, it's going to be talking about that. I couldn't get it here on time to talk about the Rose Bowl. My prediction was wrong. I figured it'd be a very high, much higher scoring game. I predicted 62 to 56 Wisconsin. That obviously didn't happen. I mean, maybe better luck next year coming out of Wisconsin. I mean, Russell Wilson, I mean, kind of choked in that game, but we got Monty Ball coming back next year. He'll be bigger, he'll be faster, he'll be stronger. He'll be here to lead this team. So next year, hopefully we can get there. I mean, it's kind of upsetting as a Wisconsin fan to like lose twice 2 years in a row. First to TCU and then Oregon. I mean, I can see Oregon; they're a great team, high-powered offense, but TCU just shouldn't be happening. I mean, that's just something that shouldn't happen. But again, I'll be talking about the BCS championship, be talking about the Super Bowl playoffs, all that good stuff, and then finally my view on some of the draft quarterbacks that are going to be there this year, specifically 3 of them. So why don't we go ahead and talk about the BCS championship game. I think it's going to be a great game. I mean, it's going 2 top defenses. The final score of the last game was a 9-6 LSU. 3 field goals for them and then 2 field goals for Bama. Not a very high-scoring game, obviously. Not a very high-powered offensive game. It was all with the defense. I mean, if LSU can put up those kind of defensive numbers and hold Bama from doing anything like that, I mean, I see them just going off LSU all the way this year is my prediction. My final prediction is going to be a little bit higher powered offensive game this time. I give LSU I'm going to go with 10-point or 7-point victory. I'm going to say the final score is going to be like 21-14, 21-17. Again, not very high powered. I'm going to go with 21-17 LSU. I mean, Bama's going to hold them pretty steadily, but I don't think it's enough that's going to be able to stop LSU. They're a great team this year. If you've seen, I mean, they have a great quarterback, great running back. Their running game is just astounding this year, but coming with a great defense, I mean, it's pretty easy to win when you have a great defense. I mean, defense wins games, defense wins championships. Without a great defense, you do not belong in the BCS championship. It's just that simple. But then, I mean, if we look at these teams, if you look for Alabama, I mean, they got Aaron McCarr on, where he threw for 200 yards, but he also threw a pick against LSU's defense. I don't really think that he's going to be a huge impact on this game. And then you got Richardson as the running back. I can definitely see Richardson being a major factor for LSU to worry about. I mean, he's one of the top running backs this year. It's quite reasonable to say that they will indeed create a mismatch for LSU's defense. LSU's got great linebackers, and they're going to have to again shut down Richardson if they want to win this game. And then another thing is that, I mean, LSU did not really pass a whole lot. They are, like I said, definitely big on the whole running game. I mean, Jefferson passed for a whole 67 yards, no TDs, no picks. He threw to 2 different receivers for a total of 67 yards, like I said. But, I don't think it's going to be based on passing. I think Jefferson and Ford are going to have to just raise the roof, and they're going to have to take it to Alabama. They are going to run it all over them, and they're just going to have to take it to them. I definitely give Michael Ford the MVP of the game with 100 yards, and I'm going to give him 120 yards. I'm going to give him 2 rushing touchdowns. And then I'm going to see Richardson for Alabama going to also run 2, and I don't think this is going to be a big passing game. It's just going to be a major running game. So if they can stop them, then they can do it. Next thing I wanted to talk to you about was the NFL playoffs and some of the teams that are going on there. In the AFC, it's not looking too hot. I mean, you got Baltimore, you got New England, you got Pittsburgh. Those are the big teams. But if you go down the NFC, you got the Giants, you got New Orleans, you got San Francisco and Green Bay, Detroit. Even Detroit. I mean, they're inconsistent, but they're unpredictable. They can take it to them, or they can get absolutely taken to. You know, I give the NFC definitely the upper hand on teams. And then I'm just going to run you through what the playoffs look like. It's going to be New Orleans versus Detroit in New Orleans. I give New Orleans the victory there pretty handily. Atlanta at New York. I'm going to go ahead and say New York is going to take it down with Atlanta. You saw New York at Dallas. They just handed Dallas quite a defeat. So when New Orleans makes it to the second round, they play San Francisco. I say San Francisco takes them down pretty easily. San Francisco, great running game, great defense. They'll take it. And then Green Bay, the number 1 seed. I mean, they are my prediction to win the Super Bowl again. You've seen in past history, they only make it to the Super Bowl when they go back-to-back. And they really have the highest powered offense in this NFL. I mean, the only quarterback I put in comparison with Green Bay's Aaron Rodgers would be New Orleans' Drew Brees, who has surpassed Aaron's numbers definitely for this year in the passing yards range. Not quite the touchdowns, given that Aaron Rodgers is just insane when it comes to touchdowns. But I'm going to say Green Bay is going to make the Super Bowl against New England. New England will face probably Houston, given that Cincinnati's not great on the road. It's going to be Houston at New England. New England's going to win against them with Tom Brady. It's going to be Pittsburgh versus Denver. I believe that Denver, being 8-8 with Tim Tebow, will lead a fourth quarter comeback. And then they will play Baltimore, who also is 12-4. Great defense. I believe that they will beat them as well to go on to play the Patriots, where they will lose again, as they did against them in the regular season. My final prediction is going to be an all-out offensive passing game, not much running. I mean, they got really no running game on either side. Great defense with New England, a pretty good defense with Green Bay, but basically it's just the high-powered offenses that you got to worry about. My MVP of this game will be Aaron Rodgers. I give him 380 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 interception, and I also believe that he'll run one in. My final score of the game is going to be 38 to 31, and I'm going to give it to Green Bay. Final thing I just want to talk to you guys about really here quickly is I wanted to talk about the NFL draft. These top 10 quarterbacks, 3 in particular, is going to be Russell Wilson of Wisconsin, Matt Barkley of USC, Robert Griffin III, and then a 4th one is going to be Andrew Luck. So why don't we go ahead and start with Russell Wilson of Wisconsin. I mean, great quarterback. He's got a pro-style kind of attack. He's not the runner like Tim Tebow or Mr. Griffin III, but his size is going to be the only problem that I see with him going in the NFL. He's only 5'11", and only 205. Most quarterbacks are above 6'2". If 6'2" is about the minimum, weighing about 220 to 260. But I definitely see Russell Wilson having a definite chance playing in the NFL. Next up, Matt Barkley of USC. This is your basic kind of average quarterback, I think, of these top 10. I mean, playing in the Pac-12, he definitely showed some athleticism and ability to beat these kind of teams. I think that he'll fit more with the West Coast, kind of not really deep passing, huge passing like New England Patriots do, but more of lower standard, kind of just pass and go for short yardage to get there. I think he'd be great with the Oakland Raiders or a team really on the West Coast that run the West Coast offenses, Seattle especially. And then the next quarterback I wanted to talk to you about was Robert Griffin III, the Heisman winner at 6'2", 220. He is definitely probably the most athletic college quarterback that I think is in this game right now. He is a great quarterback. Basically, he does it all. He's got speed, he's got quickness, he's Tim Tebow, he can run faster. I mean, he's got the athleticism of Tebow. He's got, I think in my mind, I mean, he's got the ability to pick apart defenses better than Andrew Luck, better than Matt Barkley. He's got that ability to play that most other quarterbacks entering the NFL just won't have. And then finally, I just want to talk about Andrew Luck, big boy at 6'4", 235. In my mind, best quarterback prospect going into this NFL draft since Peyton Manning, since Tom Brady. He's just outstanding. His awareness is unchallenged by any quarterback going in my mind. The only thing that he's going to have to work on is his ability to throw, and he can throw it in there, but he's got to get some velocity on the passes. He can throw accurately from 40 yards deep, but he's got to work on that ability to throw with velocity if he wants to get in there. He's got to determinedly become a Matthew Stafford, Jay Cutler kind of guy where you can throw accurate and you can throw with some velocity on it. And these quarterbacks, I honestly think that Andrew Luck will prove to be one of the best quarterbacks entering this NFL probably ever. I mean, it's just, I personally hope that Minnesota picks him up. I mean, ever since we lost this big guy, we have kind of had a little bit of difficulty. Yeah, we got Christian Ponder, Joe Webb. They're really nothing special in my mind. Christian Ponder got some looks as a rookie, but Joe Webb, he's past his prime. I mean, sure, he's young, but he's really just not that good in my mind. So what we got to work on is getting up a quarterback, and we're not really seated high enough or low enough on that draft where we're going to get in someone like Andrew Luck, but I can definitely see someone like Russell Wilson or Matt Barkley, because we really need a quarterback, and we got to represent here in Minnesota. That's all the time I got here, guys. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, comment, whatever. If you guys wanted to hear me talk about something else, sports, video games, music, you name it, just comment, post it. Any of my friends on Facebook, just go ahead, post it on my inbox, post it on my wall, and I'll talk about it. Thanks for listening, guys, and have a great night.